In tonight's show, we have our final meeting with Daisy Fitzroy and discuss if this is the hidden baptism in the game. And speaking of baptism, we have a good chat about whether the depiction of baptism in the game is offensive, and whether, if it is, it's so offensive that it's okay for people to return their copies of the game. And lastly, we have a good chat about whether what happens in the universes that we leave. This is Bioshock Infinite Explained. Greetings and welcome back to Bioshock Explained Part 17. My name is The Adipose and there will be spoilers and screaming in this episode right from the start. So if you haven't yet played the game through, I strongly suggest that you do that first. And there is the end of Mr. Fink. Okay, so whilst I try and get attacked from both sides in this rather nasty little arena, let's talk about Daisy right there. Now, so a lot of people have pointed out that there's a baptism at the beginning of the game and a baptism at the end of the game, which I'm sure you're well aware of. However, I would suggest that Daisy baptizes herself there in the blood of Fink. If you think about perhaps a christening rather than a baptism, or infant baptism is very much done with kind of sprinkling water on the head or dabbing it on, and that's effectively what she did there. She deliberately picked up the blood and wiped on herself, which of course may be a custom in other kind of cultures of war and things like that. But as Bioshock is so based around this idea of baptism and rebirth, it would be remiss of me not to kind of point out that effectively there Daisy is rebirthing herself as a villain, albeit one that perhaps doesn't last very long. And of course she is not forgiven of her sins for what she does. But let me know what you think. I mean, do you think that was intended to be a baptismal reference, or is it something that a link perhaps was taken a little bit too far? Should we go and get ourselves a little bit of health before this goes horribly wrong? Never! Hello, Dollar Bill. I would like some health, please. There you go. No, you're dead! The problem with this area is they're in the dark and they can kind of shoot you from both sides. Okay, well, okay, handyman time. Well, I think we're going to get to our handyman killer, and we're gonna need a bit of damage here, so let's go for a headbuster. And I think that's what it is. Crows out. That didn't seem to work on him. Aha! Well, that didn't take long, did it? Haha. So let's quickly go back to what we had before, which was the urgent care, which I like a lot because it gets our shields back up. And fleet feet does make us very speedy. Stop shooting me! Then give me salt! Ow! No slaughtering me!
No one escapes.
Right, he was behind us, but is he following? Oh, his head exploded! That's never good. Oh, right, surely this should act as a deterrent for everyone else. If you attack me, I will slash you up.
No! She's going to kill that child. Booker, we have to do something. We have to act. We have to get in there.
Well, get in there.
Come on, Booker, we've got to get out of here. Boost me up. Go to the window and distract Daisy. Go!
Hey, Daisy, your mother was a snowblower!
Is this it? Is this your movement, Daisy?
This is what needs to be done. You see, the founders ain't nothing but weeds. Cut them down and they just grow back. If you want to get rid of the weed, you gotta pull it up from the root. It's the only way to do it.
Elizabeth.
I guess it runs in the family.
And with that, the reign of Daisy Fitzroy is over. But also, Elizabeth, perhaps, takes a step towards her eventual destiny as well. Incidentally, towards the end of the game, I believe we see a picture of this particular moment in Comstock's airship. I could be mistaken on that, but I'm pretty sure I've seen that in some of the screenshots. And she'd be covered with blood. This is obviously quite a turning point for Elizabeth as well. Very soon she either goes, changes her clothes, chops her hair off after this moment. And in a sense, she's been baptised by by blood at this point as well too. I know you're upset, but I'm just gonna get the stuff, okay? Let's have some more health, please.
Better already.
Oh, Mr. Fink, he is very, very dead. We never really got to interact with him much, although he did give us some free stuff, so hey.
Fitzroy, you win this fool war. You send this to New York. They ain't getting the girl. Whoever they are. Maybe I did right by you and the Vox, but in the end, that don't square anything. Anna, I'm sorry.
So Booker's death, our death. But of course this is the Booker from this universe that died. We're listening to his last moments. And interestingly, in his last moments he perhaps regains some of his old memories as he immediately starts talking about Anna and his daughter. But whereas the Booker we're kind of currently playing with makes very little reference to that at all, although he does have the AD on his hand. I don't know. I suppose you could probably count up how many deaths you actually have of Booker in this particular game. I mean, obviously you can count your own, and then you've got the Comstock's death, and then there's the any time you've actually been killed by various other people in the game as well, and then there's that Booker as well. So I mean, this is a guy that's seriously dead in many, many ways. Right, let's have a look. What have we got here? Some tonic, some scissors, some medical things. But my health is full. One of those scary, scary robots that will surely play a jingle and summons a bird very, very soon. And a picture of Lady Comstock. Hi.
Why don't you just come out of there?
She don't want to.
Elizabeth.
This is all they had.
Listen,
How do you do it?
how do I do what?
Forget. How do you wash away the things that you've done?
You don't. You just learn to live with it.
That's not true.
So the moment of truth between us. New York or Paris? No, 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 no!
Shit. Come on, we gotta find a way to make this thing go faster.
Must go faster, must go faster.
There's gotta be some sort of throttle or accelerator.
Do you know
or
what that
something.
looks like?
I don't know.
Help me find it! Elizabeth!
That's not it.
Certainly is. Is.
Try again.
All
Hold
right,
on.
Here you are.
Booker, we've gotta stop them.
No, that's the E.
No,
Booker,
that is
hurry.
certainly it.
So we've got a few things to talk about there. First of all, we've got the fact that Elizabeth foreshadows the ending
Booker, hurry.
quite lucidly by saying, you know, there's no way to wash away your sins, no way to get rid of what you've done. But of course, the whole point of this game is that Comstock, of course, has washed away, literally washed away what he's done through the ceremony of baptism. But let's
Here.
go and disturb the Lutesses before we carry on, so we don't have their little chatter in the background.
Stop it! Stop it! You don't know what you're doing!
There it is.
You've done it now. He's coming back. He's coming back.
The notes were correct.
The instrument was not.
One needs both to get his attention.
But if you know how to sing to him,
He will take you where you need to go.
would you care to hear anything else, brother? Perhaps a waltz?
Who are you?
We are where we are needed.
And needed where we are.
So Comstock uses these songs. Are there others we can use? Something to keep the bird off our back?
Perhaps you should ask the maestro himself.
So where is he? Of course. Well, at least they left the piano.
I can play that too. I'm a master. Now, whilst we are on the subject of baptism, talking about Comstock's baptism and Daisy's, did you read about the story in the news about the people that returned their copy of Bioshock Infinite because of the depiction of baptism in this game? I'm sure if you go onto
That's
Google and
Comstock
type...
House. If we're gonna find him, we should start there.
Oh, we're about to have a little fight here.
We need to push off immediately. The Vox are coming.
The Vox are coming. Sorry, I lost my train of thought here. Yeah, I'm sure if you go into Google and type something like Bioshock Infinite Returned Baptism, something like that, you'll probably find the news story. But some people have been genuinely outraged by the depiction of a religious ceremony in the game, to the point that they returned their game and actually managed to persuade the games company to actually give them a refund. Now, it's an interesting debate, I think, this one, because I don't like the idea of people being offended. I think if there was a game that was openly racist, openly homophobic, openly anti-women or something sexist, I think that people would be within their rights to say that they think the game is in bad taste and they would want their money back. However, I'm not sure that I would say that Bioshock Infinite is in bad taste. I think it has characters that are bad, and those bad characters do bad things, but that's very different from the game itself from endorsing particular behaviours. Now, in regards to baptism, I think it actually treats the idea of baptism fairly respectfully. That the ceremony itself is no one's kind of mocking it. No one's kind of laughing at it. It perhaps uses the idea of baptism to imply that it's a life-changing moment, but I think most Christians would argue that baptism is a life-changing moment. I mean, the whole thing is known as being born again. And I'm not even sure that that Comstock's idea of
What do you got, rich boy, huh? You take it all. What's this, a monocle? What am I gonna...
oh dear, I think we're about to be in a fight here. I'm not even sure that the idea of it kind of creating Comstock is offensive to the ceremony of baptism either. I mean, and the other thing I would suggest about it is that the game is very, very light on Christianity, like strong in religion, in terms of, you know, that religion is and prophecy and stuff is throughout it. But there's very, very, I mean, there's no Bibles, there's no crosses around the place. I think we have one. I think, like I've said in the previous one, there is a mention of Jesus right at the end. I think in the second baptism scene, but. Again, does that make it offensive? However, I would say that not many games have religious ceremonies in them. Like, just kind of casting my mind back, and like, I mean, there's the odd sacrifice here and there, but I wouldn't class that as a modern day ceremony. But you never get you know, Hajj in a computer game from Islam, or like Puja from Hinduism, or I'm trying to think of other ones like communion. I mean, you don't really see it. So this perhaps is something a little bit different. And I did personally feel when I got to the first baptism scene, I did feel a little bit uncomfortable. I wasn't offended, but I was a bit like, you know, this is something, you know, something slightly different. How much money have I got here? I do have enough for a little more, but I'd be interested to hear your thoughts in the comments section. I mean, about whether you think not if they were right to be offended, but perhaps more the question of, is it actually offensive in your eyes? Obviously, trying to be empathetic to people. That, you know, some people are religious, some people aren't, and that's fine. But I do wonder if it was an overreaction on their part, or whether perhaps maybe computer games should just stay away from... can I afford this one? Yes, I can. Whether perhaps computer games should kind of stay away from religion in general. I mean, the old joke is that the only acceptable bad guys in computer games and films are, like, is it Russians, Germans, Nazis, mafia? You know, that kind of stereotype.
That's all I've got.
But maybe if you're going to allow Russians to be bad guys in games, or Arabs to be terrorists in games, then perhaps you have to allow that other games will depict other various ceremonies and things as well. So it's a difficult question. Ow! As opposed to as is this difficult to getting shot type situation. Right. What can I do here? Ow! Wow, they're taking down my shield really fast.
Do it.
There. You need this.
Yep, I do, and I need some health too. Ow! Run! I actually need $1 bill now more than I need this. Ah, shield is down again. Oh, and health is low.
Open it.
On it.
Oh, back. Right, there's one. Only the other 35 to go, and we're there. Where did that little bugger go? They're saying to get me out of cover, but they're not approaching me. They're just kind of leaving me be, to be honest.
There.
All right.
I can hide. I'm standing behind cover.
Elizabeth.
On it.
Oh, there's one behind there. There we go.
That's all I have.
That's all I have. Hang on.
Perfect timing.
Ow, catch!
Perfect timing. We're not doing badly here, chaps. Moving up, position by position. I can hear him, so he's definitely still alive. Come on, show me the beautiful whites of your eyes. Seriously, where is he?
There's no way out.
I'll keep my eyes open for more.
Oh, that's just embarrassing. I missed that. Haha! Dramatic string section says I win.
Do it.
There you go.
Victoire l'Adipose. Okay, now here's a question while we just kind of stock up on the battlefield here. What happens to the universes that we leave? So we've swapped universes twice now, 3 times? Yeah, twice that we've seen, and 3 times if we count Booker's original one. Now, what happens then? Because in theory, I guess, somewhere we've got a Daisy that has not had weapons delivered to her, and somewhere we've also got oh, hello, and Elizabeth that hasn't been rescued, and various things like that. Now, ultimately, I guess we can look to the very end of the plotline, and we can kind of say, well, all the universes eventually will be reset because of the actions of the end of the game with with Booker being killed before the event of baptism. But I suppose then that didn't happen. I guess you almost, by leaving that universe, we have kind of created then places where Booker doesn't fulfill his mission. But you've also perhaps got places where Anna has just, or Elizabeth, sorry, I should say, has just disappeared. So if we left that universe with,
Do you think he wanted any part of this?
who?
Did you?
Oh, that's a nice jacket. Let's pimp it out. You know, in theory, there's a universe now where Elizabeth has left, so she can't fulfill Comstock's plan in that universe. So what's going to happen? Booker's not there either.
Can you open this, Elizabeth?
To take out Comstock, so I guess there'll be an alternative route. And perhaps another idea for the DLC could be what will happen in these other particular universes.
Excited when I heard it.
Excited.
He was all I had. He fed me, brought me books. He was my friend.
Friend?
Until I grew up. And I hated him. Because he was my warden. He's just Comstock's pet, isn't he?
Yep.
Just like me.
Yep.
It's done. Look at this. Fitzroy's no better than Comstock. Was she?
Once people get their blood up, it ain't easy to settle it down again.
This is on our hands, isn't it?
To an extent, yes, I suppose it is, if we aided the revolution at its beginning. This is probably going to be a good place for us to leave this particular episode. However, before we go, I would like to talk about this rather grisly scene here, because obviously certain characters we are aware of. Fink and, of course, Comstock. But these are some of the other ones that we have heard mentioned more than having seen ourselves. Ooh, to you too. I think Saltonstall. Look at what. A freight hook. Ooh,
do it.
And some gear. Well spotted, Lizzie. I think one of those characters was the politician, which was mentioned at the beginning of the game, and also.
Hold on to this.
Whoa! That was an amazing flick. That was incredible. Do that again. I think her, if you excuse my language, her tossing skills are seriously underrated in this game. She has pulled off some incredible shots. I think there was one down in like episode 10-ish that she kind of flicked over a barrier and landed in her hand. It's great. She's amazing. She can open tears to other universes, and she'd be amazing at tiddlywinks. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yes, death, destruction. Oh yeah, this I think it was this Saltonstall guy is mentioned at the beginning of the game as an alternative to Comstock, another politician, and is mentioned in one of the preview videos. There's some people talking about the res politics there, but it's either been saved for the DLC or it has just been cut from the game entirely. Due to timing or various opinions on it, and that's fine. But it's certainly a very grisly scene, and perhaps a bit of a throwback to the Indian or the American Indian, the Indian that we saw earlier when talking about the Battle of Wounded Knee. It's almost like Comstock ultimately loses to those that he wiped out before. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you found this little discussion and romp through Bioshock Infinite entertaining and tickled your intellectual muscles. If you've got any comments or questions or ideas you'd like to see me discuss in future videos, do stick them in the comment section below. And of course, if you disagree with anything I've said, then I'd love to hear why and what theories you've got as well. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please like the video and do subscribe to the channel. And remember, you can follow me on Twitter for all the latest updates. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.